Hello. Hello. A very good morning to you all. Say good morning. Good morning. Okay, very good. A very good and warm wishes to everyone assembled here. I am Madhuravani, Women's Wing TITA.
I'm Swati, student of SIT JNTUH.
We both will take the privilege of comparing this event, TITA Telangana YUVA Nirmaan, in collaboration with JNTU Hyderabad. Thank you for making yesterday's workshop a great success, and it is our pleasure to welcome you all to this wonderful second day workshop.
And the first session is by Ahmed, an international speaker, and he'll give on the topic big data. And I just want to say a few words about Ahmed. Shri Ahmed is a well-known international speaker. He has delivered many seminars on digital marketing, big data analytics, and cloud transformation, and many more. He is the most connected person in LinkedIn. He actively participates in the conferences and even to stay abreast with the business dynamics, customers' expectations, and technological updates. Now I invite him to come onto the dais and give his valuable speech. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Good morning, everybody. It is my honor to stand in front of the students because I consider myself as a student and I am a learner. I am still learning every day. So don't consider me like a speaker or anything. We are living in a world where learning is a process and it's a life cycle process. So we need to, I would like to know your perspective, and since we don't have a lot of audience, so we will try to make it interactive as and when you think there is a requirement to interact and to clarify something. So please stop me. So as you can see, the topic for today is very fancy and it's very buzzword which we are listening, big data. And big data, when we talk about the big data is not a new animal, it's your data. According to Gartner, it is said that by year 2020, the big data will be, again it's called data. So why we are saying big data? This is what we need to understand, because sometimes we have seen like you have a PowerPoint presentation or you have a file which cannot be shared using our existing infrastructure, or some limitations in terms of protocols, limitations in terms of communication channel, and so on. So we are not able to do what we are supposed to do. So those limitations, those challenges, it has created a new buzzword which is called big data. So whenever I am saying big data, it is a normal data. We will go into the details. Do we have a projector screen? Okay. So today I try to cover the topic, a potential opportunity to maximize the value. So big data, it is providing a platform for us to increase the value for the data which was never been considered as a valuable data. I try to cover some of the components on the technological aspects, some of the components on the business aspects, and some of the concepts and perspectives from the strategic side. So when we are living in a world, we are living in an emerging world where the technology, it is emerging and it is changing our life, and it is changing the way how the business is being done. So even we as a human being, we are living in a virtual world. Yesterday the VC was talking about the virtualization. So I would like to extend the same concept of the virtualization, not only with respect to from the IT ecosystem, but also we are living in a world of virtualized world where the virtualization, globalization, adopting the dynamic capabilities, those are the trends and those are the necessities for us to stay competitive. We talk about the quality. Yes, quality of education, quality of business, quality of professionals. But again, those quality itself is a big buzzword, or it's a big domain that need to be cracked down. We need to understand how that quality can be achieved. So let me go to the next slide. This is the slide which is old slide for me in 2012 or mid of 2012. I have delivered a session in Delhi, and I have been talking on this particular slide. And later, after 6 months, I got to know that there is Internet of Things, and the Cisco, they came up with that concept by year 2015. 50 billion devices will be connected. So whenever I am talking about the connected devices, so we used to, couple of decades before, in year 1980, the TCP/IP protocol was evolved. How many of you know that the TCP/IP protocol was evolved by whom? Students, because academics. Okay, so you need to, that's the homework, I'm not going to tell you the answer now. So when the TCP/IP protocol was evolved, the challenge was how one PC can be connected to the other PCs. And this is the internet. This is the network, and this is the internet. The same thing is being replicated. The same thing is being replicated across different geographic regions, across different countries, across different cities, across different businesses. And this is what it was, and this is what even it is today. With the emergence of the new technologies such as cloud, big data, and those kind of high fashionable things which we are listening, the challenge is not only having a connectivity between the two PCs, which is the internet of today. We are in a world where how one network can be connected to the other network. So when I said the network, it is not just the network, it is not just the infrastructure, it is not just the services which is being given or being delivered by the service providers. Whether it's an organization, you as a student, maybe it could be the e-learning platform which is providing you a collaborative layer where you can have a collaboration, you can collaborate with your other students through the voice streaming, through the whatever the education method we have. There are some standard compliances are in place, which is SCORM compliance, and there is no child left behind. Those kind of standards are there. So this is one aspect. Now the question comes, why we are talking about the cloud and big data at this time? You see, there is something called sky computing. So 5 years before when I started, I said, why it is cloud? When you are talking about from the conceptual side, cloud is something which is there, which will provide you a layer for your organization, for your educational institution, and for our life, which is social cloud through the Facebook, through the Twitter, whatever we are doing. I said all these clouds, they are part of the sky. So it's not the cloud computing, it has to be a sky computing where all the clouds, they are an integral part of the sky or the universe. So this is what I started, where because that time actually the experts, the subject matter expert, they themselves, they were unable to distinguish what are the characteristics which need to be realized, which need to be identified, which need to be understood properly. That was missing. However, since last year, we understand what is the cloud, because there is a lot of work has been done, and still there is a lot of work is being done. So the cloud has been understood properly, most likely. There are definitions which are somehow they are universally accepted with regards to the cloud. Whether you talk about the Gartner, you talk about what you call the institution, the American institution. Those kind of things are there. Now, earlier when I was talking about connecting one PC to the other PC, where the data was being generated, so we were living in a world of connected world, where we call connecting to the other machine or to the other network, to our branch, to our institution was a challenge. Now we are After 2 decades, we are a step ahead. Now we are living in a world of super connected world, where we have a super connectivity, where we see a lot of devices. There is, according to the study, an average, every individual has at least 2 devices with which he is connecting to the internet. So when I am saying internet, it's not just the PC, it is not just your laptop, mobile phones, your car, or your refrigerator, your TV. There are so many. As per the Cisco study, it's a 50 billion devices. And our population, we are talking about 7.2 billion, I believe. So there are embedded devices where you have subroutines which will provide a connectivity also for doing a routine task. Those kind of things also we are considering at this point of time. Then we talk about the Internet of Things, where so many devices we have in the world of today, which is super connected world. Now we are moving towards a hyper connected world, which is hyper connectivity. Not only you will analyze the data, actually those devices, those universal objects, they themselves, they are being identified, and they are saying, I'm here and this is the data I have with me. Please make sense of this. If you have, I will go into those business analytics and algorithms and all of that in the coming slide. At this particular slide, what I am saying, we are living in a world of information, where the information is given for what? I am from the business background. We have CIOs, Chief Information Officers. However, the information is given, but there is no action is being applied on that particular information. If you are a student from the project management, if you are a mathematics student, you have certain information which is given where you are applying some formulas, some tools and techniques from the PMI methodology. Every input, there is what I call computing and a control, where you are applying certain tools and techniques. For what? To get the knowledge, to get the know-how. The action which you are taking, that is the computation, because you are applying certain actions. So information is given and you are applying some action, and then you are getting an output, which is the knowledge. So you might be knowing, like you tell something to somebody, say, come on, I know that. Yes, you know it, but you have never applied. So knowing is different from applying into actions. This is what I am trying to emphasize. So once you apply the action on the information, that is the intelligence, which you see over there. Intelligence, I said, is structured. When we talk about the big data, I don't want to go in very basics unless it is required for me to cover, because I think for the past 3 to 4 years, the big data, we are listening the big data, and you being a student, I think you may be knowing about that. So whenever we are talking about the big data, there is unstructured data, and there is semi-structured data, and there is structured data. So structured data is not the data which is residing in your Outlook and emails, or you have some Twitter and something, because that's not even structured from your organizational or from your business perspective. You need to, because the value for me is different from the value for you. If you are an employee in the retail sector, what is valuable for you is the customer data, the behavioral data for the customer. This is what it matters. But if you are a student, you think on the data, the research data, the study which you are performing, the study which you are conducting, that is the data which is very important for you. So again, the perspective, it differs. An organization which has all the data, it's heterogeneous data. You might have seen in the hospitals. Hospital is a good example. So many departments, those departments, they have a silo system, no system which unifies. Even if they have a PAC system, they call something like ERP type, PAC system. And that provides an isolated functionality. No integration, no automation, So there is no question arises with regards to the transformation. So this is what I would like to talk on this particular slide. Whenever we are saying big data, now I think last week or 10 days before, our Honorable IT Minister, he has initiated something on the open data initiative. Open data, it become like a global phenomenon where the European countries and US and Canada and Australia, New Zealand, this is what it is. So the data which is available, which is public data, and in presence of the RTI, where is the right for the information, I think the open data initiative is going to help not only for the government but also every citizen and every resident. So when we talk about the open data, these are the 4 elements I just try to prepare this. It's about the availability and accessibility of the data. How much the data is available. Let me go back, asking you, when we talk about the technology, what is the one thing it comes in your mind? I want to know, if anybody, what is the one thing when we talk about the technology? We understand that technology is helping the humanity, it is helping the health sector, it is helping the education sector. It is transforming the way of life, the way how we used to spend our life. I used to have a photo. I never used to share, but now I feel proud to share the things which I think it should be shared. For me, I am recording my session because for me the world is the audience. Yes, I belong to this region, but this knowledge should be shared. Why I should keep it with myself? And this is what I have started my YouTube channel, where every session used to be live over there, and I used to put it for the public. Thanks for the introduction, the script she read. I have my network, professional network is 31.6 million people, they are connected to me. And thanks a lot. And also it's my privilege that I have delivered the highest number of sessions on being a neutral speaker without any sales pitch to the global audience, where I have visited number of countries and I have done. Basically, when we are benefiting to our society, when we are benefiting to somebody, the first person who will be getting the benefit is you. It's me who got the benefit rather than you. So if the same phenomena, if the same mindset, if you take it forward, if you are sharing the knowledge, being a student, actually you are benefiting to yourself before you actually benefit to somebody, before you actually benefit to your family. This has nothing to do with the big data, but these are the important elements, how you should approach to the technology. When I said about the technology and the availability, connectivity is the major element. Without connectivity, there is no technology. Having the stable connectivity is the major challenge. You don't need to think about the fancy and the big data, cloud, mobility, consumerization of IT, containerization and all of those things. You don't need. First, you need to go with the basic principle of the technology, having the stable connectivity. I used to advise the organization, before you actually think about the transformation, think about how you can provide a stable connectivity. Providing the stable connectivity, it is a challenge, because most of the time, metropolitan cities, they may have that kind of stable connectivity, but the rural areas, don't think the rural areas are in India. There are rural areas, out of the most developed countries, where we still face the stability of the connectivity. So the availability, it cannot come without having a stable connectivity. So connectivity is a major element, and fetching the data and making the data accessible everywhere on every device and so on, which we used to see, which we used to listen. This is what I'm talking about. So reusability and sharing. When you as a programmer or you as a professional, whatever you do, you need to see my effort of today, how it can be reutilized. During my student, I was not a good student. Let me be honest with you. I was never been a good student unless I reached to the engineering. Engineering is the only place where I studied with sincerity, and thereon I was like studying. And even today I am studying. Every day I used to study. So I don't need to enroll myself in an academic institution. So global democratization, when we talk about the open data, we talk about the globalization. The data which is available, it's not yours. It is, but however, there is a privacy. Of course, I am not talking about the data which is very personal to you. No, not that one. But there is data which is available for the public. And that is the data I am talking about. So democratization, where everyone has the right to have an access to the data. Let's say I was coming and I thought I will be little late, few minutes to reach at 9:30 because my session is there and there is a lot of congestion. If I have been informed that this particular route and this is the traffic or this is, like we have the color coding, then believe me, I would have think about the other track before I actually approach. And this is very practical. You don't need to really wait for those protocols, technologies, methodologies, frameworks. You don't need. This is simple and it can be done easily. The only thing, you need to have those subject matter experts, and subject matter expert is not an individual who can really make the difference. It is all about us. It is all about we as a citizen who should collaborate on those kind of causes. Integrity or integration, integrity of the data, integration of the data where you are integrating the different data. What happened with regards to the cloud, unfortunately, and the big data, every organization, the global organization, let's not talk about the local, global top leaders, whenever you talk about the big data, you talk about the cloud, they talk about how I can sell the stack of my products and services. They never practice the customer advocacy. Customer advocacy or CSR, corporate social responsibility, those are the, what I should say, it's like a norm they are following on. But in reality, there is no customer advocacy. Because as a supplier, I as a vendor, I should see what is good for you, not what is good for me, how I am going to sell all those licenses and all those products and all those services. So flexibility, integrity and interoperability. There were no protocols earlier, and in my previous few years before I was talking about there is no standardization on protocols, there is no standardization on platforms, those things. So whenever we talk about an IT or cloud or big data, we are talking about a trustworthy commitment. A commitment which provides an acquisition of global standards and IT practices. So what is good, what is global, what are the best practices? We take those ones and we try to map and relate to the regional norms. I have seen some of the countries, they talk about what is global. I cannot take it because, come on, you don't understand the culture, you don't understand what are the priorities for us, what are the preferences. So you need to take those, because those are the industrial best practices, and you adopt those practices and try to customize and tailor. So when you are designing a solution, I'm not talking about IT. By the way, whenever we talk about the IT, do you know most of the business executives, they don't like IT people. I'm a hardcore IT guy and also I'm a business consultant. They don't like. The reason why? Because we as an IT, I as an IT, I think the problem is my increment. I think if I share the knowledge or if I give the things to the business as and when it requires, Yes, there could be hurdles. I'm not saying, yes, there are so many problems because it's not just, you thought it's a solution which requires a systematic approach where you need to understand what is the business requirement and you try to see what are the resources are available, what is the prerequisite, what is the time frame we have. Yes, it's a complete methodological process. I understand that one. But we don't understand what is the business impact. We don't understand because we are there as a catalyst to the business. We are there as a catalyst to the society. Whatever it requires for us to secure and to market, this is what we need to take it forward. Before I actually jump into the technology, these are the slides. I'm trying to build a theme. Since I have a luxury and a privilege to talk for an hour, so I'm taking it slowly and gradually. So we call ACI availability, information availability assurance, which is anytime, anywhere, on any device at cheaper, faster and better. These are the things you might be listening for many years. But now we are talking about more reality. Now you have the protocols, you have the platforms, you have all the stuff which is required for you to really move forward. Information confidentiality, the cloud and the big data stuff which has, there was some negative stuff which has happened where there was breaches has happened with regards to the cloud and big data. So confidentiality has emerged as one of the key elements with regards to the big data and open data, where a consumer, he want to have an assurance how my data can be safeguarded, how my data will be only shown to the respective audience, to the respective stakeholder. So protection, prevention, privacy and privileged access to the data, it become a key element with regards to the confidentiality, where we need, even if we have the data which is available in our ERPs, in our line of business applications, and so many applications and services which we are delivering, roles-based authority matrix you need to develop. Who will access what kind of information? This is very much important. I am giving you a practical exposure, how you should think. Even when you are studying, you are actually building your own personality. Yesterday's sessions were very much interesting for me. Even I was like brushing up my skill set on those elements, personality traits, the SMART goals, which has been a talk with more clarity, and some meditation technique also has been shown, where we can have that kind of refreshing mind, where you can grasp the stuff. You need to have a systematic approach, those kind of things. So data secrecy or protection, authorization of information are the key elements with regards to the confidentiality of information. So when you are accessing the data from heterogeneous platforms, you need to understand and keep in mind before you actually jump and go for the Hadoop training. My friend, big data is not just about the Hadoop. There are so many elements. It's a complete life cycle. A life cycle from the business perspective. Even if you are practicing an IT guy, IT is not the driver. We are the tools. We are providing tools for the respective domain, for them to become profitable. We are there to help others to succeed, not ourselves to be successful. Yes, if you are minding yourself, yes, you will be successful if our customer is successful. So the quality, the data reflection, honesty of the data, accuracy of the data and relevance, how you are relating the data, what kind of data sets you are capturing from each data source. This is important. I will go into the other slide. So when we talk about the big data, we are talking about three perspectives. A technology view, a technological perspective, a business perspective, and a process perspective. When we go into the practical life, where we talk about the business, and by the way, even From my perspective, even in institutions, they are a business. They are performing, they are serving to their customers with the honesty, with the integrity, with the loyalty, where sharing and empowering you as a customer, it is the integral role into their culture. So technological view or technological perspective, technological tools availability to analyze the data utilizing algorithms and the storage techniques and the infrastructure. That's what. I will try to, in the next slide, I'm trying to elaborate on that particular aspect, since I'm here to talk on the big data from the technological and the business perspective. Why I have why I'm trying to mix over here? Because I have seen most of what kind of certification you recommend for me to be considered as a big data expert or subject matter expert. So there is no one certification. It is the emerging technologies which we are talking today. It is more on the business side. It is more agile. What you can't do in the previous years, you can do it now. And according to the Gartner, a study from the Gartner, the more IT expenses they are being spent from the non-IT people. So non-IT department, they are making more expenditure on the IT things. CFO is more interested. Come on, how it is going to be possible? Only I don't need to carry forward all those depreciations and the infrastructure and those support contracts and licenses and all these 100 people, they are sitting on my payroll. This is what they are. So, and we IT guy, we don't need to worry because we have. So we don't need to worry. Our jobs are secure. There is nothing is going to change. In fact, we are actually more closer to the business. We are more empowered with the tools, techniques, frameworks, protocols, which allow us to be closer to the business. Before, I used to see the vision and mission statement for the businesses to serve, to make the business successful.